Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake.
This is Mac.
And today we are joined by Ronin Sumo-Beya. We've got Brandon and Al from down in Florida. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing good.
Now have two faces to direct my rage. Ronin was supposed to be unaffiliated USA Sumo Tori, and now it's a club. You guys have destroyed the narrative.
Mac thinks that he has some sort of right to an incredibly common Japanese word.
It is mine. It is not mine.
No, it is absolutely not.
I can't. I've reached the limit.
No, Mac used to call guys that were like unaffiliated with a specific club. They're like, oh, they're Ronin. They're the Wandering Warriors. And then, well,
hey, that's
really...
Andrew. What is Andrew? Andrew Ronin, right? What is
I think
Andrew?
That's how you say his last name. Yeah,
Andrew Ronin the Ronin.
He's not affiliated with anybody, so that's your guy right there.
There you
That's
go.
true.
So yeah, you guys. Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, we tried to get him to come down. I don't know how far away he lives from us up in Alabama, but we're very, very close to Alabama. We're only 45 minutes from Alabama, so
right. Yeah, you guys are in. You guys practice on the beach in Destin, Florida, down there on the Panhandle. I definitely want to talk about practicing on the beach, but first, why don't we get to know you guys and your club a little bit? So, is it true what I've heard that the further north you go in Florida, the further south you go?
Yes.
All right,
absolutely.
Cool.
Okay. My geography is completely screwed up now. Thank you.
A lot of New Yorkers and Northerners move to Southern Florida. So, you have just a lot of Northerners down there, but they call us Lower Alabama.
There you go.
Kind of a nickname for us, or the Redneck Riviera. That's another.
So we'll just say you guys aren't the ones walking around in pastel shirts listening to like Cuban music or anything like that.
That's not us.
Nope, you're out there wrestling gators and such, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that sounds way more exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, how did you guys get your start? Brandon, why don't we start with you? Where'd you get your start in sumo, and what got you hooked?
Yeah, I got my start. I was just surfing YouTube. I like all kinds of traditional wrestling styles around the world, and sumo popped up. And I was like, man, I wonder if there's any sumo around in Florida. I'm thinking, not a good chance, but I did a Google search and saw Florida Sumo. I said, oh, this guy's in Panama City Beach, like an hour or so away from me, Cornelius Booker. So I contacted him. It was a week before Nationals last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, after Nationals, we might take a week or so off and then we can get you started. So it was probably a few days after Nationals. He's like, hey, you want to go ahead and start training? I'm like, yes, let's do it. So,
he's one of those Cornelius. Guys. Yeah. Cornelius is what pulled you in.
Yeah, cornbread.
He's one of those guys. That enthusiasm is just infectious, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, he really loves sumo, and
he does.
We
he
do
pours
too,
his
man.
Heart and soul into it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Brandon, your first tournament though, you had to drive a little bit further though. That was the first Iron Belly tournament, right?
That's right, Orlando.
How much
far is that from where y'all are? Again, my geography is completely messed up here.
Well, it's actually a time zone away from us.
Oh,
that's how.
Yeah.
It's about 7 hours to get there. Florida's a huge state. Like you can drive for 20 hours in Florida.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Longest road trip I've done in a long time was when I went down to Dallas for the Cowboy Cup from Des Moines. And if I wanted to get to like the other side of Texas, that's like halfway. Yeah. Some of these states are gigantic, and you guys are at like opposite ends of Florida from from your training partners.
To get to Key West would take me about 24 hours of driving.
Oh my god. Wow. But yeah, so I guess I bring up the first Iron Belly tournament because one of the other reasons we wanted to get you guys on now was we're coming up on that second Iron Belly tournament. Brandon, real quick, let's stay on you. What's changed in the last year? What have you learned, and how's your sumo progressed since the last time that you guys were down in Orlando for a tournament?
I'm in better shape.
That's
what
always
is it
good.
The year makes, huh?
Yeah.
And harder tachi-ai. I think I've developed probably one of the hardest tachi-ais in lightweight. I feel so. I've gotten a lot of compliments on that. So
I can confirm it.
Oh, you can confirm?
Show them the bruises on your chest.
I have a permanent bruise right here on my chest at all times from his harder tachi-ais.
Is that Brandon's head or is that his forearms?
His head.
Oh, it is his head. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah. He'll put that noggin right on you.
Yeah. Oh God. And he keeps that hair short for the aerodynamics and everything. Yeah. Wow.
No, it's offensive now. At that point, it's short enough he can use it as a weapon.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like rubbing a Brillo pad on you for
Exactly.
15 to 20 seconds.
So Al, how'd you get into the sport here?
So this is an interesting story, which I'll get into. But I was a wrestler for years, Olympic level wrestler. Never made it to the Olympics, but I was a junior Olympic champion at one time, many years ago. And then I'd always still kind of been interested in wrestling, just kind of followed it and sumo itself. So I happened to come across the U.S. Open, and I'm watching the U.S. Open. I think it was the 2014 year, the year it was. And then I hear a guy announced Cornelius Booker from Florida. And I turned to my wife, and this is an honest to God story. I turned to my wife and I go, you know what? I should look this guy up because I would really like to do sumo. And swear to God, within 4 minutes, my phone rings. I don't recognize the number. I pick it up and I'm like, hello. And he goes, hello, my name is Cornelius Booker, and I understand that you want to do sumo.
Whoa.
Swear to God, honest truth. So I finally figured it out how this happened. I do jujitsu, and a guy in my jujitsu school said he knew a guy that did sumo. And I said, well, give him my number and have him call me sometime. But this was like six months earlier. It was so I, and Corn really, he's like, well, I don't know. I know some guy. He said he knew you, but so I finally figured it out. And I'm like, wow, what a coincidence. But so yeah, I called him, and then we started meeting up once again on the beach. Corn and I started wrestling on the beach. This was in 2017.
Okay.
And so we always practiced on the beach, and then luckily my sensei would allow us to practice in the gym, during cold times, which we don't have too many. We got a month or two where sometimes it gets too cold.
Sometimes it drops below 85 or so, right?
Well, we get 30s and 40s and 50s sometimes. Mostly
okay.
Mostly it's in the 50s. Sometimes if it's raining or something like that. So we get
that's sweatshirt weather. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing like Iowans do. Is it Iowans? Yeah, it's Iowans, right?
Yeah, it's
nothing like
this is like the one topic where we get to be elitist about things.
Well,
you know cold, we know cold.
No, I don't want to know cold.
You can have it.
So yeah, he and I started meeting up. We only live, as luck would have it, we only live about probably 45 minutes apart, maybe 50 minutes apart. So we started kind of meeting halfway and then practicing on the beach. And that's how I got started with sumo. And then I competed. We started in I believe September of 2008 or 2017, and then I competed in the nationals in 2018. I think it was February that year.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it's gotten busier from there for sure. But either way, you guys being down there in Florida with Cornelius, he's been one of your main hookups and stuff like that. What kind of led you guys to starting your own club? Was it really the travel, or what led to Ronin Sumo-Beya becoming its own thing?
Cornelius started working with the guys in Orlando, so he started going down there. And that's basically we haven't practiced with Corn a year, Brandon. Has it been a year?
Probably not that long. Probably it was towards the end of the year.
But still a decent amount of time.
Before the North
Decent amount of time. And they wanted to kind of branch off into the Iron Wave. And so Brandon and I was like, well, let's just do our own thing and we'll become Ronin Sumo up here. But we're kind of thinking maybe we all kind of under an umbrella of is kind of what we're looking for to the future.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys got guys up in Georgia, right? Is that the other big nexus nearby?
Yes, and then who lives in Daytona is thinking about starting his club over there.
Ooh, a
'Cause,
third. Nice.
Yeah. So maybe we're all Florida sumo, but this is the Iron Wave branch, this is the Ronin branch, and this is Mark's branch.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mark
Yeah.
Jones in Daytona.
Ooh.
Then you got Kendrick down in Tampa, and I got a friend that lives down there. I'm trying to get him started in sumo, so I got Kendrick's information and said, "Hey, my friend wants to maybe start training one day, so they might hook up one day and get a Tampa club going."
Cool.
See,
Yeah.
I'm loving this just for the sheer potential. You've got
Yes.
all these Florida schools, you've got all these Texas schools, you've got Georgia, I'm loving the potential rivalries that are coming out of this. I'm eating this up.
as like the the store brand journalists that we are, we're like, yeah, storylines, we can get rivalries and more stuff to cover. Yeah. But no, we love that. It seems like sumo's growing everywhere, and especially if you guys have like seeds planted all over the state, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Who's the other one I was thinking of? I guess North Carolina's quite a bit further out, but it's still like kind of southeast-ish, right?
Yeah.
They
That's 10 hours away from us, so
Yeah.
a long haul for a practice session.
Raijin Sumo in North Carolina.
Yep, that's
and then
Eric.
you have a guy named Nathan in Tennessee, just started a Tennessee Sumo.
Yep, TN Sumo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're in Nashville, did he say?
I believe so.
Mhm,
And
that sounds right.
He's a teacher, so he's actually going to get a club started in his high school that he teaches at.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Hey, this is the pipeline. You start from high school and you just start slowly funneling out. Nope, this is good.
Yeah, I told him, I said, you need to recruit wrestlers and football players and you'll be set, man.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, at one of the national meetings, I specifically brought that up. I was like, we need to get to these high school wrestlers, because most high school wrestlers still want to wrestle, but there's nothing for them after high school unless they go to college. And most colleges now don't even really have wrestling anymore, since what is it, Title IX, and they had to even up the men's and women's sporting opportunities in colleges. So a lot of places dropped wrestling. Matter of fact, like where I lived, when I used to live up north, which is hard to believe, but there were no colleges even within 100 miles of me that had a wrestling team. All they had were club teams. So, I think that could fill a big void for them, for guys that still want to compete, in physical wrestling activity, that just don't have the opportunity.
And there's thousands of people that, liked wrestling in high school, but, weren't good at it, or didn't have enough opportunities to like continue doing it into like a grown-up hobby or something. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunity out there. So yeah, a high school club, that sounds fantastic as a pipeline.
When we did the nationals in 2018, they had a huge junior wrestling tournament there for sumo. So a lot of the wrestlers who were there wrestling, we had all these mawashis for them, and they would go over and try their hand. And we had probably 30 or 40 kids that all came in and tried out sumo.
That's cool.
And competed in a little mini tournament. And I'm like, it worked there just in that one instance. It'll work everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because if you ever go back and look at some of the YouTube video of 2018 national championships, you'll see there's people just circling the ring. There's a huge wrestling match or wrestling tournament going on in behind, but everybody's kind of gathered around the sumo ring because it's so intriguing. It's so fun to watch.
That's awesome.
I'm sure you guys have watched wrestling matches before, and they can get pretty boring, especially if the wrestlers are good. It's a stalemate. The wrestlers are good, but man, there's never a dull moment in sumo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, the amateur wrestling, I could take it or leave it, but the pro wrestling, that's where the real excitement is, right?
Right.
You're biased, Jake.
Well, look how popular Akebono was.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
No,
one of the most popular characters in the pro wrestling.
There's a lot of crossover there, especially in Japan, because they got a huge culture for pro wrestling too.
Yeah, but they love it.
You guys do have a handful of other guys down there. Brandon, how did you guys get your recruits going?
Pretty much Al.
Okay.
It's the guys he knew, his friend John, and his son Marshall, and then Al, his son Aston. So that's our group of guys, and they started back in, was it April? Or it was a few months ago. They've been in it for a few months or so.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And they picked up quick.
Yeah,
These guys are good.
John, so why did they come with you to FitCon? That's what I want to know, Brandon. We saw you, Al. What's your excuse?
I got 5 kids, so
that's okay, good. Legit excuse.
That's a pretty good one, yeah.
Can only do so much and get away so many times without getting in big trouble here.
Yeah, bingo. But yeah, so but yeah, you guys have 5 of them. You bringing all of them to the Iron Belly, or who's traveling this year?
I think just Brandon is going to Iron Belly. I won't be there.
Again.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, got to get these guys to want to travel.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's a bit of a hike, so you can't blame you too much. But yeah, so
Brandon and I will be in Texas at the Consulate Cup.
Nice.
So we'll be there.
That is our next stop as well.
Yeah, we'll see you there. That's just the way the travel worked out, we can make it to Texas, and that might be the only other travel we can do this year, but we'll see.
Funds are almost depleted, man.
They were not that deep to begin with, but
no.
But we're excited to see you guys there. But yeah, so the Iron Belly though, we're going to be following a similar format to last year, where the guys in the gym will be running the tournament, and they'll get some camera and sound set up for us. And then me and Mac will help just, do commentary on the stream to help people follow along. And after a year of experience, I think we'll probably do a lot better recognizing.
Much better this time around.
I've enjoyed your broadcast every time.
It was fun. We just didn't know who was who yet.
Exactly. It's like, now I know who people are.
Oh man.
But you do know the Kimirati pretty well. I was very surprised when I watched one of your first ones. You guys knew every winning move just about, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
half of the secret to calling out proper winning techniques is saying it confidently.
Yes, so, completely.
So that's
Oshidash. I think that's right.
So very few people could argue with you too. Like I couldn't argue.
Yes, that is exactly what it is.
Oh man. So yeah, if you've been doing this for a couple of years, what's your favorite, do you have any like specific stories or tournaments you've been to that are particularly memorable? Because like I know Brandon travels all over the place, but me and Mac personally haven't seen you as much this last year or so.
Yeah, only thing I did was the Vegas tournament. So after 2008, my first tournament was the Nationals, my very first tournament, and of course my very first match is the reigning national champion Andrew Freund. Great
bit of a start.
Yeah, all right.
For my very first match, I get one of the best guys in in the history of lightweights, and
a whole lot more experience.
And I beat him. So
yeah, but you beat him though.
Nice.
But I beat him. Yeah. It's surprising. I have to lose weight to get down to lightweight. So at the matches, I'll weigh anywhere from 210 to 220 when I'm competing. And I tell you what, you wouldn't believe how strong Andrew is at 150, 160 pounds. He's like a freak it's unbelievable. If you ever get a chance to kind of just mess around with him, if you've seen some of his matches with Gabe.
Yeah.
Gabe is super strong, and Andrew, man, they go head to head. Gabe outweighs him by probably 30, 40 pounds. And
they
Andrew
had some
can hold
crazy matches last year.
Oh, yeah. Great matches. I mean, what a rivalry between those two guys. And like I say, and Gabe is super strong. I've wrestled with Gabe a couple times, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, he's crazy strong too. But Andrew is amazing to be as light as he is and as strong as he is. So that shocked me on my first match. I'm like, I locked up with this guy, and I'm like, oh, my wrestling background, I kind of have more of a wrestling style. I like to do
right. You go for the under, you go for the grip. Yeah,
like that, or do an over under.
Yep.
So we locked up, and I figured I would just kind of throw him with an over under throw. But man, you gotta know your stuff when you mess with Andrew. So I was quite impressed with him. But yeah, that was my first exposure into sumo tournament. I finished I won the bronze my very first year, so I was excited about that. And then went to another tournament in Atlanta a few months later and finished bronze there again. Then won a few open weight tournaments, which surprised me winning an open weight.
A lightweight winning an open. That's
Yeah,
impressive, sir.
By his own admission, he's kind of a middleweight wrestling at lightweight,
exactly.
right?
but still,
Nah,
even
you
go
crap.
that
I know.
way.
Hey, I have some good skills left over from when I was younger and was a dieter for wrestling, because back
There
in
you
wrestling, you
go.
used
Oh,
to
yeah,
really
yeah.
cut weight. So I've got a lot of good weight cutting skills.
That's part of the skill set in weight class based sports is how big can you be, right?
Yes. So did well. I finished in 2019. I got the silver medal in the open class again. So, and then I got in a car wreck, and I haven't been worth a crap since then.
Oh no.
I got rear-ended from behind by a giant Ford Expedition. I was sitting at a stoplight, and he hit me about 50 miles an hour. He never even touched his brakes, and it almost flipped my Jeep over. It's so hard, and just haven't been right since then, man. I just haven't been able to get my strength back and get my movement back, and so still working on.
Wow.
Well,
you made it. That's all I care about. It's like, well, you're
I'm glad
okay.
you're still here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say, at that point, it's like, okay, silver lining, you're okay.
But yeah, no, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That it's completely outside your control. But yeah, that sucks. It's is it like a particular injury, or is it just messed you up?
Yeah, I ended up with a spinal injury, and you know anything about backs, it's never good when you hurt your back. So it's hard to work out, hard for me to be really super flexible. I'm getting better, I'm getting a little better all the time.
It's just hard to move. I mean, period. Anything with your back, like you lift a leg wrong or you twitch wrong, and all of a sudden you're paralyzed.
Oh, and the worst thing is sleeping, because when your back hurts, you can't roll over in bed. You know what I mean? So it's hard to recover from hard workouts because I don't sleep well because my back always hurts.
There you go. Ugh. Yeah, no, as I have the most 21st century of all problems. I've been working in an office and sitting in a chair all day for years. So I also have a shit back now. It's the worst. Oh man. Brandon, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your last year here? I had one specific match that I know has been discussed on at least one other podcast here.
Yep.
Where you thrashed a guy like three times your size, roughly, down at the Cowboy Cup. Tell us a little bit more about that match with Matt Jim from Sumo Punks, because I know he's brought that one up to me a handful of times. He said he describes you the way that Al was just describing Andrew. He's like, that guy's made out of iron.
I think you sent me the link. Like listen at this time. I said,
go to this timestamp.
Go to this time frame.
Yep. And I was like, oh, it was so funny how he was describing it. Like, what was he saying? Like, my arms were like pythons squeezing his arm, and like, it was nuts. But yeah, got him with the Sakuanage, beltless arm throw.
Very cool. Yeah, and this was in the open weight division at the Cowboy Cup here in June, and you beat another one of the Dallas heavyweights too. You certainly showed
the Dallas crew what's what.
Had a good showing for the lightweights in the open weight for sure.
Gotta represent, man.
Yeah.
Little guy power.
Yeah, no kidding. I every time I come up with some excuse why I haven't gotten in the ring yet, I'm like, I'm a lot of these lightweights are a lot bigger than me. And then like I think you and I are the same height, and I'm like, damn it, I don't have any excuse.
Come on, Jake, step up.
You're like, damn it, Brandon.
Quit.
Hey, Jake, don't let winning or losing even be a part of it, man. I'm telling you what, the brotherhood with all the sumo wrestlers.
Trust me. I don't know. I'm sure Caleb in particular is going to peer pressure me into it someday.
Oh no, but Caleb combined with Matt, combined with Corny,
I'm just saying
with Justin.
I'm just saying that this particular lightweight would not do quite so good against the 400-pound Pawnee Goliath from Dallas there as Brandon did. Oh man, yeah. Well, you got any other highlight moments from this last year of competition that you've been doing?
I guess it was the other match I had an open weight against Bubba Garza, I think it was. I had a deep underhook on him at the edge and threw him on his head. So I had to check on him right away. You know, I was hoping he would land right, but I couldn't see. My head was turned, and I was thinking, God, I hope he lands on his shoulder. But yeah, he went on his head. So
those Garza guys are tough, though. He popped right back up, didn't he?
Yeah, they're tough, and yeah, real nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
All those guys are.
Tell us a little bit about we weren't doing quite as regular of coverage back when the Mighty Eagle team tournament happened in fall of 2021. But you traveled to San Antonio for that one. What did you think of that team tournament?
Yeah, that was a unique format. I had a blast doing it. Open weight team tournament, 3-on-3. Mm-hmm. It was me, Korn, and another new guy, Dustin, heavyweight. So we did okay in that tournament. I think we placed
fourth. I think
fourth out of
just out of the money,
like 6 teams or so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we came in fourth. So we're probably one match away from getting on the podium. So
yeah,
I wish they would have that format though, where they broke up the weight classes rather than just having it. You can have 3 heavyweights.
Free for all.
Yeah. I just think it would be. I don't particularly like wrestling the super heavy guys. Being older, I break easier. So,
yeah,
understandable.
No, on one hand, you want to make it more fair, and on the other hand, I know the only reason that we were able to pressure Kizzert and Caleb into doing the team tournament at nationals this year was because they could team up as a lightweight and a heavyweight. And
exactly.
All out. I don't know. But it's always kind of just a more like casual kind of format.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I do love the open weight, because I like I always say, I believe that's the true sumo.
Absolutely, 100%.
All the different style matchups you can get, guys so tall, so short, so fat, so skinny, or muscular at different techniques.
So, sorry, Al, but open weight's where it's at.
We got to have a master's class.
There you go.
A Legends division.
There you go. Legends. Yeah, that could be for Iron Belly too. You've got the Masters division, the Legends division, the newbie division, and then everybody else in open weight.
Yeah. Oh man, I was actually just looking back in my in my notes here, and Brandon, you also got a win over Ben Marquez, another one of like the biggest guys out there.
No kidding.
This is at the team tournament.
Yeah, the team tournament. Yeah, beat him with the Okuradashi.
Yeah.
Because I had to move out of the way because he would have. I told him after the match, I was like, man, if I wouldn't have moved, you would have killed me. So
I had to get around you and get you out of the ring, man.
Yeah, Hinka got behind him and pushed him out.
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
I looked over and Tom Zabel's like got this big old smile on his face. Like it was funny. It tickled him.
Tom's another big guy. He's probably had that happen to him plenty of times, hasn't he? Oh man. Well, we are, like I mentioned before, we're coming up on the Iron Belly 2, the second annual in Orlando. So looking forward to seeing just Brandon down there because Al's got 5 kids. He's got excuses. It's okay.
He's got responsibilities, man.
He's got responsibilities. But that Iron Belly tournament, it'll be streaming most likely on YouTube or Twitch under Florida Sumo. Otherwise, we'll be spamming the links out in the days leading up to it once we have everything nailed down. But again, that will be in Orlando, noon local time. Still plenty of time to book your plane tickets to get down there. Anybody who's listening, who's on the fence. But there will be multiple weight classes, an open division, and I believe they're going to do their novice open weight again for people who are just looking to get in the ring, who a little bit more nervous or just, don't want to go up against, Cornelius in the first round and get
or Karinga
or Karinga. Yeah. Or Mark Jones.
Mark Jones.
Champ.
Good God.
But anyways, get on that Iron Belly 2, August 6th. But before we go, why don't you guys tell us a little bit more about how to reach your club if anybody else is up there in the north of Florida, I guess. What's the best way to reach you guys?
You can reach us on our email, roninsumo@gmail.com. And then we also have our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Ronin Sumo.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
So yeah, no excuses if you're up in the Florida Panhandle, or if you're some guy in Alabama who doesn't have a club and is looking around for somewhere to train with guys. Even if you just got done with Worlds, there is a club that's pretty close to you. Just hypothetically, maybe drive
Leave
down
out
there.
a can of plain beans on the side of the road, and Trent Sabo might come by.
Trent Sabo will run by.
Just plain old beans, huh?
Just plain old beans. Not even, not
That's
even
miserable.
that poor bastard.
Sorry, Trent.
Oh, well. Well, yeah, thanks for joining us. And I've decided since the last individual interview that we did, our closing question: what is your guys' karaoke showstopper song? You got a couple drinks in you. It's last call here for karaoke songs. And they're like, Al, we got to have you sing a song, and you need to bring the house down. What's your song?
Country Boy Can't Survive.
Nice.
All righty. Brandon?
I'm not a big karaoke guy.
Brandon melts into his chair and disappears from view.
I need more drinks.
Oh man. All right. We'll let you off the hook this time, but we'll see how Consulate's Cup goes if we're drinking together or something. Awesome.
Right.
Al
Sounds
and Brandon of Ronin Sumo-Beya, thank you guys so much for joining. Oh, and you guys are working on shirts now. I see you guys have your own. Are they up for sale as well for the next batch?
That's our next question.
Yeah, I'm gonna do another sell probably in the next couple of months or so. I just completed an order, so I'll be shipping out shirts right now. So tomorrow, awesome. Actually.
Excellent. And I do gotta say, yeah, as far as club logos go, I love it's classy.
Excellent.
It's
just excellent.
Minimalist, straightforward, just
keep it simple.
Exactly. All right. Thanks again for joining us, you guys, and we will talk to you again real soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
throw your salt high
and keep moving forward.